Hello everybody, I'm Clayton.
I'm Darren.
Welcome to another episode of Gone Kayaking. And in this edition, guess what? I'm not in it again. It is going to be Darren and Rossa and also the mighty Zoran. And it's a trip from Tanner's Lane near Lymington all the way across to Newtown to see this particular building. And more on that later in the programme. So, nice day as usual, and it just so happens you met a fellow YouTuber, Yakler. Hello Yakler, he was on his way out to do a spot of fishing. Hope he had a wonderful time, and this turned out to be a wonderful time for you guys, right?
It did. You'll also see, right there as we speak, this was going back to Zoran's chat here in the studio where he had his oopsie moments.
Uh-oh.
And this is that.
Oh,
Oopsie moment.
What a save! What a save! Let's see that again. Oh, the oopsie moment. He's playing with us.
He's digging a hole in the water there.
Isn't he just? Oh, that's excellent work from him. I would have been straight over. No doubt about that. He's already up above a level above me now. Goodness. What a way to start. Excellent. Bit of drama just as you get out.
Absolutely.
It looks nice enough. Well, what's the tide doing? What's the wind doing for this one?
So this was the tide coming in, and it was against a slight wind, so you see a little bit rough on the way here. On the way back, obviously the tide's turned, the wind hasn't, so it was really calm on the way back.
The variety of kayaks. Now, we've talked about your Valkyrie a lot, and Zoran's got the same one but in orange, correct?
Exactly, so blue's obviously cooler.
Obviously, and what's Rossa in?
She's driving the Delphin 150, which
Ooh.
you may remember. That's the one we acquired with a pretty bent front nose, so that's his other oopsie moment.
Oh, he's smiling still, though.
He's still smiling, he's still in it, so that's all good. Now, the Delphin needed the nose straightened quite significantly.
Yeah, there is a bit of a video on that, isn't there? He did a good job on that.
Sort of, yeah. It doesn't look pretty, but it still works fine.
Yeah, it's not sending around in circles.
It goes in a straight line now, which is a massive step forward. So here we're coming up to Newtown, to the entrance of it, and just outside the entrance is the southern end of the Shalfleet boom, which you'll see on our later video that Clayton's still got in process.
I'm going to
You'll
get
see
to it.
the north end of it. There's not much to see on the south end unless you're right there at low tide. There's a few stumps left on the beach.
It's quite incredible. There is a fascinating history to everywhere, really, but also around here, and a lot of it goes unnoticed around the Isle of Wight. And you talk about the defences for submarines. We're going to come up. We're going to see the building we want to talk about a little bit later on, and the history of the Isle of Wight. But it's just fascinating history all around us if you really want to look for it.
Indeed, it's still there even if you don't want to look for it.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. A lot of us just walk along. We walk by blinkers on. Classic example. I went to the National Gallery. It's free. It's in London, and I saw some Van Gogh, some Monet, Turner. It's like, my goodness, this is the stuff you only ever see on TV or in books. It's there for you to see in it's in close up, in colour. Amazing.
Pretty cool.
This is also pretty cool. Back to where we should be, which is on the water, somewhere that I haven't been for a while.
We
get
need to
there.
work on that.
But look at that, as calm as anything, isn't it?
It was absolutely crystal clear, too calm to ignore. But it's a bit boring to watch at normal speed, so zapped it through. So here we go, landing in the little corner area there. Bit gooey, but we made it. It's all good.
And somebody already there.
Yeah, another guy heading off in his kayak. He was waiting for the high slack tide to head off.
What's that?
That's a hand. No, that's the bearings that we followed over there and coming back.
Very good. Written down. Now then, Zoran, come on, baby. You can do this. Nice. He's got... Oh, where'd he go? Oh!
he was suddenly transported to another dimension.
Don't worry, we didn't spare his blushes. He did get out fine. Flacker's out, everybody's out safely. Time for a history lesson regarding the old town hall in Newtown. It's a Grade 2 listed building and it's owned by the National Trust. Now, the area itself, the borough, was quite a thriving economy until it was raided by the French in 1377 and failed to recover. And then later on, Queen Elizabeth awarded the town 2 parliamentary seats to try and stimulate economic development. That was back in 1584. Then, in the 17th century, the mayor decided to commission a town hall to hold dinners, which would allow them to confirm the names of the candidates for the 2 seats. It's a Tudor-style design completed around 1699. And in fact, a future Prime Minister was elected from the town hall in terms of being one of those candidates that they were allowed to have, and that was George Canning back in 1806. However, because there were three main families that dominated the small borough, it was known as a rotten borough. I love that. Classic Blackadder. So there's your history. Now back to the paddling. Comfort break taken, lunch devoured, and heading where now?
This is heading back to Tanner's.
And should be all pretty straightforward. Zoran now, I mean, he's like a pro now, isn't he? Who'd have thought?
He's the man. No more oopsie moments on this one. You can see now, because the wind and tide are going in the same direction, it turns out it was really calm on the way back, so no drama at all.
And in these instances as well, you get a bit of speed up and you're still going pretty quick if you decide not to paddle.
A little bit, yeah.
It does feel like you're being pushed home, though, in those situations, doesn't it, when you've got the wind and tide with you?
Well, we weren't going with the wind and tide. The wind and tide were together, so it was calmer conditions, but we were actually crossing the wind and tide. So the bearing that you saw on my hand earlier, my special memory device, that was set up then to give us a good margin. You can see here as Zoran goes past that buoy how the tide is giving us a little shove off to the west.
And that's why it's important to have a bearing and also to be able to follow it, because otherwise you just get pushed way, way beyond where you want to go.
Indeed, and certainly Tanner's Lane, it's a very small target and it's not visible from Newtown Creek, so you can sort of see Newtown if the weather's clear when you're leaving Tanner's, but coming back again you can't see it. You need to follow and trust your bearing.
Another successful day, it would seem, and no oopsie moments, as you said, from Zoran. Rossa, she goes under the radar a lot, but she's a very competent kayaker, isn't she, really?
She is.
Must be so. I know we do have a bit of a laugh at her sometimes. It's like, stay away from the whirlpool, don't go in the whirlpool. Oh, she's gone in the whirlpool. But even so, she's like, oh, I'm in the whirlpool. Oh, okay, I'm okay. And she carries on. It's brilliant. That is an episode. You do want to check it out if you haven't checked it out already. Amongst the other videos that we have. Yeah, it looks lovely. I just love the view and funny enough, you can see the change in the colour of the water though. I suppose we're getting closer into...
We're getting into the shallower water now, so
yes.
Once you're out of the shipping channel.
And you can tell that aviation's back up and running again.
Indeed.
That looks like some kind of desert island, doesn't it?
Oh, it is very deserted, apart from this other family here.
And that's the trip then. So pretty straightforward, but a nice little bit of history going in and coming back out again. All in all, distance and time?
This was 17.5 Ks in about 2.5 hours on the water, plus time idling and...
staring at history.
Indeed, and eating.
In eating, of course, that's very important. That just about wraps up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe, and check out all the other videos as well. We will have plenty more to come. We hope you've enjoyed them. Until next time, from myself, Clayton.
And me, Darren.
Bye. Oh my goodness, what was that?